What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Web3 DJs, home of the fastest 30 minutes of NFTs and crypto on the entire blockchain. We got a great show lined up for you today. As a matter of fact, you guys have been requesting this, and so we are putting it down today. Today, we're going to be talking about the top 10 undervalued NFTs for gains in August. This is a really exciting show. Thrilled to be able to dive into the depths of the blockchain to find these projects for you. And so with that, I guess let's go ahead and get started. Do you want to kick us off there, Hofstra?
Just put me on the spot, huh? I'm calling in today from my new office. I got dressed up for this whole show. I figured since it was so special, I'd do something a little bit extra. So I will just. Can I share my screen here?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to jump in, and the reason I'm choosing this one is because we actually have on the show pretty soon, but I own roughly, I would say 40 of these, and it's parallel alpha. So if you look at the floor price on OpenSea, 0.01, you got to dig a little bit deeper to understand, because that's not the floor price. And they've had different drops going back to when they first started. Let me see, it's pulling up here. But this is a true OG project. If you just look at the trading history, how long it's been out, what they've done, they've raised money from venture capital. Sorry, my computer is taking a little bit longer, but first of all, the art's dope, and you can almost get any price point. So you can start with, like, if you wanted to buy something at 0.004 or 0.002, you're going to be able to get that price point. If you want to buy something at 0.5 or 1 ETH, you can do that. So it really depends on how rare the NFT is and what you're trying to do. But really with this game, you're trying to collect sets. And so if you have a set, it allows you to do different things. But parallel alpha would be my number one. And keep in mind, I'm trying to keep this under 0.5 on mine. We didn't really specify what top 10, but for me, I'm trying to keep 0.5 and below because that's a realistic price point for me. I have about 0.43 ETH ready to go right now. And what I was looking at last night is what can I buy that's relatively underpriced that I feel has potential to be here long term and to increase in value. And parallel alpha is the first one. I'm sorry, my internet's not pulling this up, but I'll throw it back to you and let's hear your first choice.
That sounds great. Yeah, I think parallel alpha is definitely really interesting. And I'll be honest, I have to let the listeners know you've been pitching that project to me since I first hopped into the Web3 space. So this man really does believe in parallel alpha. Go ahead and check them out. That's the first one on our list. The first one on my personal list, number 2 for us, is going to be the Full Send Metacard. So the Full Send Metacard is made by the Nelk Boys. If you know me, it's no secret that I'm into the Nelk Boys and that sort of thing. Right now, the floor price is 0.63, but just last night, these Metacards were going for 0.4, under 0.5 as well. A couple sales were made. Now, the reason that I like the Full Send Metacard is because, again, one, I am to some degree passionate about the Nelk Boys. But 2, if you look at it, the Nelk Boys have already put out 2 successful lines. The first one being their supplements. I think that that's really interesting as well. They launched their own supplement brand. The second one would be the Happy Dad Hard Seltzer. And I mean, the Happy Dad Hard Seltzer, people look at it and say like, wow, you guys are competing with White Claw and Truly, big whoop. As a matter of fact, no, they're competing with the likes of Budweiser, Jack Daniels, things like that. They're attempting to be the all North American brand, if you will, in terms of alcohol beverages. And so these two are really interesting opportunities, especially when you consider what's going on here. So they have a podcast themselves that they do with really prominent guests, probably one of the best podcasts in the entire industry, if I do say so myself. And here you see them talking with Mark Cuban. And long story short, they said that they are about to embark on their 3rd business venture. And this time, if you own one of these Full Send Metacards, you will be made a business partner for this new venture that they're embarking on. And I think that that's a really interesting opportunity, especially for people who, otherwise wouldn't have the opportunity to get their foot in the door. On top of that, it offers some cool perks, 50% off their supplement subscriptions. So that's really cool, especially if you're into exercise and that sort of thing. I mean, you can kind of rack up savings over a lifetime there, and then 30% off of their merchandise that they do. And they do have some of the best streetwear, one of the best streetwear brands in the game. Um, I think the other thing I would say is just go ahead and check them out. Here's some of the merch that we are talking about. They've got a bunch of other stuff on their website, full uncensored content to their videos that they're uploading weekly and this sort of thing. And so I really think it's an interesting opportunity. Again, you see up here, they've done collabs with Baby, Adam Tate, a prominent tennis fan and that sort of thing. So for me, the full send meta card rounds off the first of my list here.
Solid choice. I bought that over 1 ETH. So definitely if you want to get a good entry point. So if you want to put it back over here, I will show you my next pick.
Yes, sir.
And I'm going with 10K TF Stockroom. So there's two. There's 10K TF Stockroom and then there's 10K TF. So you kind of have to know what both of them do. But the floor price on this is 0.18. So basically you have different pieces of clothing here to help make things. And at certain times, like for the socks, for example, they open up where you can do a collaboration. So if you own like a Gutter Cat or a Bored Ape Yacht Club or a, they have a list, World of Women, you can do a collaborations and essentially license your digital assets and then you can sell them. So it's a cheap way to get in. This right here is it's becoming a fairly large ecosystem. Now, the other project that you can get that I still think is underpriced is 10K TF. So I'll show you. You can buy a completed version of someone else's stuff. Now, it might sound weird. So, like, here's a pair of the socks right here. This is Galaxy Crew socks. So someone that owned 7509 World of Women Galaxy basically created their own socks and now they're selling them. So the floor price is 0.65. So if you buy it for 0.18 and let's say Sticky owns a World of Women Galaxy, we can do a collaboration, pay a mint price, and then potentially sell our socks for a profit. So that's the whole concept. But Gucci is partnering pretty extensively. The team that they have behind this, it's Beeple's on the team. He's a huge artist. The list goes on and on and on. And they've been around and they've been consistently selling, and their stuff sells out, and the lore and everything that they're doing brings a lot of hype. So for a 0.18 entry price, even getting in for a full 10K TF at 0.65 is a pretty good entry. But 10K TF Stockroom, I would suggest going on the Discord, reading the website, understanding what you're buying, because I didn't do that when I bought it, and it took me a minute to figure it out. So that is my next pick, and I'll throw it back to you. What do you got, Sticky?
Hold on, I'm trying to catch it. Caught it. And let's go ahead and move on to my second pick. This will be the fourth project that we're going with here today. And so that project is the Cryptoon Goons. You guys knew we couldn't do one of these episodes without bringing up the Goons. They're really close to my heart. So their entry price right now is 0.21. I mean, that's lava. There's some really great Goons that you can get at that price right now. On top of that, the Cryptoon Goons, we mentioned it before, they have embarked on a journey with Urban Outfitters. So for me, one of the best pieces of utility is the fact that the Cryptoon Goons have, again, one of the top streetwear brands in the Web3 space, in my opinion. The merchandise that they put out, well, it's not called merch. The apparel that they drop is fire every single time. So shout out to Drewby for putting this stuff out. And again, if you haven't seen the episode that we did with Drewby, he talks all about this. So they've already partnered with an in real life brand in Urban Outfitters. And I'm going to go ahead and pull up that collection here. You can see that it's really high quality stuff. I'm a fan of all the designs. They had a couple of different crew necks and 3 shirts that you could choose from. On top of that, the real reason that I like the Cryptoon Goons is that they are notorious for shipping product fast. I mean, they are doing something every single month. And if you scroll through their Twitter here, you can see like they just put out the school pictures and did a contest with that. You can see some of the submissions down here where you could name your goon in a new formal, non-dilutive derivative of the project. You could also kind of give it a nice little yearbook quote down there. On top of that, they're very active, really engaging with their community. Here we go here. They promoted 2 individuals to the Goons team, one being director of community partnerships and the other one being the community manager. So I love that. Now I'm looking for it down here. Here we go. This is another really cool piece. Every month, at the end of the month, they post a kind of cork board of everything that they did this month. You know, it's got some cool quotes from the community, any high level stuff or highlights that happened in the month of July for the Cryptoon Goons, and I really love that. But on top of that, what I find outstanding about this project is that every single week, if you are part of their leadership team, you are posting in the Discord in a formal channel what you have worked on in the past week and what you're working on this week. Accountability is huge, especially in this space that really has no laws. And so, yeah, all in on the Goons here. 0.21 entry price is lava, and you've seen us rocking the merch. I mean, that in itself is worth it. So that's project number 4 for us. Hofsha's gonna kick us off and hit us at the halfway mark here. Let me pull up your screen.
Cool. My turn?
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah. Okay, so this is probably a really obvious choice, but I'm going with VFriends Series 2, of which I own 2 of these, and that's not why I'm telling you to do this, but if you're betting on projects, Gary V is probably top 1 or 2 people I would go with in the space. A VFriends Series 1 is going to cost you a heck of a lot more, but if you want in the ecosystem at 0.45, my entry point, my first one I paid 0.8. When I bought one with 3 of my friends, we paid little over 1 ETH right when this came down. So it's about 50% the cost of, what we got in on this. But right now with ETH up, I mean, at 0.45, if ETH goes back up to 3,000, you're doing good. And there's a pretty good likelihood that that'll happen. So, I wouldn't say I'm the biggest fan of the art, but this project has such a loyal following. Like I went to VCon this year, and people literally will stand in line 3 hours just to buy the merch, 3 hours just to shake Gary V's hand. He sold out a freaking, a whole thing at Minnesota Vikings Stadium. I was just pulling up the Discord. This is one of the most active, most professional Discords you're going to be in. They're running blog posts. They got social media. They got a tricked out website. They just also raised $50 million. So this announcement came out a few days ago. So I'm looking for projects that have the money to withstand the test of time. They've already had huge sales on both the Genesis and the second. Book games, like if you just look at the total amount of money that this project has brought in, they're going to have bandwidth for a long time. And to get it at 50% of the price is definitely worth looking at. So that is my pick. I'll send it back over to you. What do you got?
Outstanding. Now, we're halfway through our list here, about halfway through the show. Like we said, Web3 DJ's home of the fastest 30 minutes of NFTs and crypto on the blockchain, and we're proving that to you guys today. So remember, if you enjoy this type of content, the number 1 thing that you can do to support us is tell a friend. Number 2 thing, go ahead and hit that follow and that subscribe button for us right there. Really appreciate that. So let's get on with the list. I know you talked about having hesitations about your last project's art. I'm going to go ahead and flip it to a project whose art I love, and that would be none other than the Gutter Cat Gang. So I know the title of the show is Undervalued. You got to bear with me here for a little bit. If we look at this Gutter Cat Gang, the OG price right here, almost 6 ETH. I know that is tough to say. It's undervalued. So let's put that on the shelf for just 1 second. We'll circle back to that. But the Gutter Cat Gang, if I were to put them, really just try to sum them up in 1 word, maybe 2 words, I would just say they're trailblazers and they're revolutionary in this space. I really enjoy everything that the Gutter Cat Gang does, from checking out their in real life events at NFT NYC. As a matter of fact, they are now launching GutterCon Season 2, or the 2nd anniversary of GutterCon. And that'll be in September in Las Vegas. So that's going to be a really big event. I don't know of any other projects that's doing something like that, with the exception of VFriends that you mentioned just a second ago. Now, Gutter Cat Gang, if you check out their website, they have a bunch of different ways to get involved. The first, you can own one of their OGs, which is the Gutter Cat. There's 3,000 of those. Oh, let me fix the view here. They have 3,000 gutter cats, 3,000 gutter rats, 3,000 gutter pigeons, and 3,000 gutter dogs. The rats and pigeons are sitting about 1 ETH right now. The gutter dogs are about 1.5 ETH. But then if you look here, they just launched a new initiative, and that's Gutter Juice and Gutter Clones. And if we check out the Gutter Clones here, I mean, again, this entry point is lava. There's about 17,000 of them total. The floor price is 0.13, very affordable for anyone to get into. And you might think, okay, so like, what's the difference between these? Well, if you look at their website, it lays it all out for you. So of course, the Gutter Cat is your premium OG membership. And suggested earlier, there's only 3,000 of them. Now from there, the rats, the pigeons, and the dogs are all in the same tier of membership. And then right below that tier would be the Gutter Clones, which you see down here. And so Gutter Clones, I mean, if you have one of these, you're, again, right there. You're still part of the gang membership. You're right there with everybody else. There's only going to be up to 28,000 of them ever. So they are, relatively scarce as well. Now, finally, I want to circle back to that piece about, well, here's GutterCon, like I said, the in real life events, about trailblazing, though. So they recently were in the basketball tournament, TBT, you see here, and look at all this branding that they had. This was on ESPN. It was huge. I had never personally watched the event before the Gutter Cat gang submitted a team. It was awesome. It was really a blast. And the thing about it was we were holding Twitter spaces leading up to the game. People were getting excited, literally pre-gaming in the Twitter space to watch this on TV. And then we always did a post-game recap. So it was a way to get the community engaged as well, to get our name out there. They had a commercial that's been airing on ESPN, which is also really cool. And then the last piece I want to hit on in terms of them being revolutionary, we go back to the merch. I mean, right now that seems to be one of the number one pieces of utility, if you will, in the space. What they do with their merch is they actually sell it to you as an NFT, which you could keep and hold forever, or when the time comes, you can burn the NFT, and then that's basically like, making the purchase, and they send it to your house and that sort of thing. So I think that's also extremely cool, really revolutionary. No one else is doing it. And so pick number 6 for us out at the Gutter Cat Gang. They're also going to be dropping gang tokens soon, and if you have an OG, you will allegedly be airdropped some of this gang token. If you don't and you have a clone, you'll be able to battle to earn it. So I think that's really sweet. Gutter Cat Gang rounding us off at number 6. Hofstra, lucky number 7. It's got to be a big one here. What are you hitting us with?
Well, I was just going to ask you, should I burn my NFT or should I get 3 cool shirts? Because I have that.
I would hold on to the NFT personally. I think once they pop again, you'll be able to get a lot more out of it. The shirts are really awesome, though. I was not able to pull the trigger on them, but in my opinion, I think holding on to the NFT is the thing in the long run. Because here's what you have to consider, right? Imagine if you were able to buy like the first Gucci wallet ever, or first Gucci bag ever. If as long as you hold that NFT, they'll have the capacity to make those clothing items for you and to send them out. And so I think holding it forever is going to be the move, most definitely. It'll be vintage.
Heck yeah. So number 7, since we're throwing it back my way,
Oh,
I'm going
nice. I'm
with
glad you chose it.
World of Women Galaxy. Did I beat you to the punch?
No. This is just like a project I've been looking at myself at getting into. I think this is a really interesting opportunity, so I'm glad you brought this one up.
Yeah, so it's funny that you say that because it's a project that I've always wanted to get in. Now, if you were in the space a year and a half ago, well, probably not a year and a half ago, but this was one of the true OG projects. This was, I mean, Snoop, our buddy actually sold one to Snoop Dogg. So we've had some friends just make some come ups on this project. My buddy sold his for 10 Ethereum at one point. Now, this is the derivative or the second project. So the first project, if you want to just see the comparison, if you had the money, floor price right now is 3.2 Ethereum for an OG, right? But things I'm looking for when I buy projects is I'm looking for volume. So if you want to see if there's liquidity in a project, if you could get in, get out, potentially sell it for a gain if some news comes out, what you want to look at is you want to look at volume. So World of Women Galaxy has consistently been on the top 200 since it's come out. At one point, the high was close to like 2. It might have even been over 2. But if you look at the 90-day average, it's 0.65. So it's 50% almost off the 90-day average. So the floor price is pretty good. Plus, again, going back to projects that have money, if you look at the total volume of World of Women It's just done a lot of volume. They've raised a lot of
Wow.
cash. And
Yeah.
so the likelihood of this project just going away with how many people are invested and the fact that there's still volume, there's still trades on this and it's consistent, just makes it less of a risk for me. Plus, it's just something that's cool. Like I showed you on 10K TF, you can actually, this project right here is one of the few Series 2 projects that you can actually make something with 10K TF. So if you wanted to have a cheap entry point on two of these projects, you could buy, 10K TF socks, and you could get World of Women Galaxy, and potentially have something that you can start selling and licensing digital collectibles, digital assets, or clothing. So yeah, I've always wanted to get this project, and at price point 0.38, if some news comes out or something happens, you could have a pretty good come up here. So pick number 7, World of Women Galaxy.
Very nice. Yeah, a great pick at that. Like I said, something that I've been looking at getting into myself for quite some time. And yeah, I think is an excellent. It was great to hear about it and get your perspective on that. I'm looking for a specific post here. Okay, I just now found it. So number 8 here. We're coming to the end of the show again. Trying to keep this at 30 minutes to keep this phrase coined here. Fastest 30 minutes of NFT and crypto on the blockchain. Every time I say that, that's a drink, by the way, for any of you out there listening. So pick number 8 for me is another OG project in the space. Something I had wanted to get into for a long time. You don't want to know the price I got into it at, but right now the floor is sitting at 0.14. The crypto Moris. It says right here, Memento Mori. Remember you die. It's an old Latin saying to remind people that and must be lived to the fullest. It's traditionally symbolized by a skull, and now it's made its way to the metaverse. And so this project is created by a gentleman named Iwan or Iwan. I believe he's a Frenchman. And long story short, he was launching like a video game company before cryptos and NFTs blew up. And so he's kind of carried on that vision here. So allegedly, we are going to get a great video game out of this, but we've all heard that before. That's not why I'm highlighting Crypto Moris today, though. Crypto Moris has a partnership with this company called Impact Suite. And I want to talk about this a little bit because we've talked about mental health on the blockchain before, and it is really important. Hofstra owns his own lab, and so here we go. This one's for you, Hofstra. Read this. Roughly 1 in 3 of your employees are struggling with addiction or mental health challenges. And, I would wonder what that percentage would look like. I'm sure, again, it probably 1 in 3 people who are engaged in Web3 are facing the same. And so what's really cool about this is Crypto Moris. If you own a Crypto Mori, again, that's at 0.14 right now, about $228. You have access to unlimited therapy, essentially, anywhere in the world for as long as you hold this Mori. I mean, that is wild. Unlimited free therapy, excuse me, just because you own one of these Moris. And so I think that that's a really interesting, really huge utility that's not talked about enough. And in my opinion, if you're struggling with any sort of like mental health or anything like that, I mean, this is the route to go. I would imagine that a single session, especially if you don't have insurance, would cost you between $100 and $200, if not more, depending on where you go and where you're located. So to be able to purchase something for $230 and have access to this for life, seems like a no-brainer to me. So Crypto Mori's number 8 for us. And shooting it back your way for the number 9 pick.
Okay, now I went with something a little bit unconventional, and I stumbled upon this last
Go
night.
ahead.
So it's Dolce
Okay.
Gabbana, and I'm gonna just pull up a couple because you can kind of cover a few different price points. I was trying to keep this under 0.5. So if you want the cheapest entry into a Dolce Gabbana NFT, now I'm not a huge fashion guy, but I'm into sneakers, I'm into streetwear, and this particular project is actually a streetwear collab with Dolce and Gabbana. So basically, yeah, you're buying this. This digital that you could also get the in real life. Now, you probably want to go on the website because it breaks down what all this stuff means more, this UNXD. So if you go on OpenSea and you just look in the description, you can read through like this is drops, marketplace, some of the other stuff about the project. So you collect these boxes. Now, if you wanted to hop in and get a box, 0.33 will get you a box. Now, this gives you access to like the metaverse. This gives you access to drops. I'll just read the description here. It says exclusive access to the Dolce & Gabbana NFT universe. DG family boxes are digital collectibles, NFTs, that also serve as tiered membership to exclusive Dolce & Gabbana universe. DG family members receive exclusive digital, physical, and experiential privileges as Dolce & Gabbana pushes the boundaries of luxury and culture in the metaverse. DG family boxes are based on the classic Italian Corretto style and
Wow.
crafted in three increasingly rare tiers. Dolce DG Family is an exclusive partnership between Dolce and Gabbana and UNXD. So with that, these are all kind of tied. So you have this right here, which is some fashion, some shirt. This is the box, and then if you want to go to the highest tier, the most rare, for 0.64, you can get one of these glass boxes, which gives you like the ultimate access into this universe. Now, the reason that I'm going with this is because right now you have Tag Heuer just came out and said that they're accepting ApeCoin. You have was it? I want to say it was Gucci. It could be
Gucci did,
Gucci.
yeah.
Yeah, Gucci
Yep.
is accepting ApeCoin, so both of them are getting into it. Plus, Gucci's already been in the game, so that means okay, Dolce & Gabbana's got to get in the game. That means Louis Vuitton eventually is going to have to get in the game, which you've already heard. So
Yep.
to be early in a space with a name brand, to have something like this, I'm not necessarily into it, but I'm looking for something that's potentially going to go up in value and an asset that's gonna work. So these are name brands that are in the space that are early enough where I think that there's some upside. So like I said, a little bit unconventional, but that's why I'm going with this one.
Outstanding. Yeah, I think you had a great selection of your five. Now, I will go ahead and round us off with number 10. And again, I want to remind you guys, look at this time here. 10 projects in under 30 minutes. You're not getting this elsewhere on the blockchain. Nowhere else in Web3 is breaking things down for you guys like this. So let's go ahead and round out the show here. Now, for me, my last project, I'm going back to my roots. I'm starting with the Alien Friends. This is one of the projects that I first got into, and I've been riding with them ever since. You can see right now that the floor price is 0.37. The Alien Friends are really cool because they have these different tiered factions. You can kind of see that people are green, yellow. These are the most common, green being the most common, and yellow being kind of, I guess, the uncommon version. And then as you go down the list, you'll run into a purple one, which is the second most rare, and then there's a red one in here as well that's also the most rare. But Alien Friends, I think, is really cool. One of my favorite things about Alien Friends is they're actually like right here. You see this? Use your IP rights, friends. We want to see all those friend-run businesses. They're actively encouraging you to launch a business with your Alien Friend and use it for the marketing and for the branding, and they want to support you. We saw a coffee company come out called Friend Blend Coffee, and when that did, we really rallied behind them. So I think that is huge for me right off the bat. Now, number two, if you go to their website here, and I navigate here to the home page, you can see that, of course, it's very informative. This is what I was talking to you guys about. It goes green, yellow, purple, then red, and you can see the quantity decreases as we go up the list. They've got a good team behind them. I really like this guy, Sean. He seems to be like a really intelligent individual, great driver for the project. But what I really like about them is they used to launch what's called invasions, and they haven't had one in a little bit of time, but you can join the invasion, and just because you hold one of these, you're essentially entered into a raffle to win a prize. So that's always great, a great piece of utility to give back. But most recently, Alien Friends have been a little quiet, and that's because they're working behind the scenes. So they are generating a marketplace, as a matter of fact. And I'll go start earning here because I have some of these bad boys. Let me go ahead and connect my MetaMask. But long story short, you will generate coins for any piece of their ecosystem that you their second derivatives, which are the Alien Friend Evolution, whether it is, oh gosh, I haven't logged in on my PC in a while. Whether it is an incubator that they gave you, or whether it was a UFO, and each one of those like earns a certain amount of coins. And so I'm going to go ahead and show that to you right now. But while that's booting up, I want to show you what you'll be able to use their marketplace for. So here's kind of a teaser of what will happen if your coins were accepted or not accepted. Just kind of some cool imagery there. You'll be able to get custom items. You'll be able to purchase whitelists. They're also going to have full trips, hotel and lodging included on there that you'll be able to spend your coins on. And so what's really cool about this is we always hear about these kind of like terrible, here's the whitelist spots that we talked about. We hear about this terrible native coins that projects launch, and it's really kind of like, what can I do with them? They're actually trying to make it so that they're useful within their own ecosystem. So it's going to drive community engagement while providing value as well. You'll be able to get merchandise, all these sorts of things. They put out an album. As a matter of fact, what is this here? Something is coming. Liquid Death. I think they're about to collaborate with Liquid Death Water and Hofstra. I know that you're into the bougie water, so that's right up your alley there. But let's go ahead and see if this worked. It says it's already pending. Okay, well, might not be able to get this going right now for you guys today. But anyways, you can collect coins. I was going to show you how much I have already. You do have to have an OG to be able to claim the coins. But again, I think they're doing some big things. They've been a little quiet behind the scenes. Prices dipped to 0.37. I think at its height, it was maybe around 4 Ethereum. So definitely an undervalued project, something I would be looking into. So let's go ahead and recap the show. Hofstra, your top 5 were?
Parallel Alpha, 10K TF Stockroom, VFriend Series 2, Dolce & Gabbana, Reality Paralela, and then World of Women Galaxy, not necessarily in any order. And what were yours?
Oh, and mine were the MetaCard, Full Send MetaCard. Again, you can be a business partner there. Then the Cryptoon Goons, shipping product fast, one of the best streetwear brands in Web3. Gutter Cat Gang, again, just trailblazers and revolutionary. I think that's a project that's going to do something big. One of those things where you just kind of get into it and you hold on to your piece, set it and forget it sort of deal. Next would be the Crypto Mories. Again, I really like them for their mental health opportunities that they provide for people. That's something else that I haven't seen anywhere else in the space. And then finally, the Alien Friends. They always do things big. They're continuing to build and do big things. And so I think that they are going to really make it in the long run. So I think those are our top 10 undervalued projects. Now, were you going to say something?
No, I was going to say I put something together, which I guess is our bonus round or flash. You're saying fastest 30 minutes on the blockchain. I want to show you the fastest honorable mention projects under 0.5 ETH.
Hit them.
You ready for this?
Do it.
Atom Bomb Squad. So I got 0.23. We got Adidas Capsule under 0.3. Sappy Seals. Freelanders. Wrecked Guy. Quirkies and Smilesverse. All those solid projects you can get for under 0.5 ETH. There's too many, man. I was like,
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah, again, like we said, it was fun to do this sort of research. We really appreciate the idea. I wish I remember the individual who gave it to us, but yeah, appreciate the idea. Thanks for giving us some opportunity and kind of giving us a homework assignment. Fired us up a little bit. Now, like we said, the fastest 30 minutes of NFTs and crypto on the blockchain found right here. What can we look forward to next week? So this Sunday, we have an outstanding show lined up with CryptoPunk number 4762. That's Brian Colwell. We'll be going live at noon Central with this individual. He's a managing director at Quotient Marketing. He's an NFT enthusiast, metaverse, metacognitive. I mean, I can't even pronounce some of this stuff. So you can tell this is going to be an intelligent guy. He's going to give us some great perspective on Web3, and so really pumped to have him on. Again, if you enjoyed this type of content, we are Web3 DJs. I'm Sticky Finger Jones. This is Hofstra. Make sure you tell a friend about us. Hit that subscribe button. Let us know in the comments what you want to see next. Whether it's a person, a project, or something you want us to address, put it in the comments. Let us know. We're happy to address it. And I mean, that's how we came up with this video today. So again, the top 10 undervalued NFTs, month of August. You're not going to find this anywhere else for in under 30 minutes. So appreciate you guys tuning in today. Hofstra, you got anything you want to kick it off with or send them off with?
I'm good. Tune in. It's gonna be fire this Sunday.
Outstanding. All right, gentlemen and ladies, everyone in the audience, thanks again so much for coming. And until next